Today's guest is Lavado Simmons. He's a young entrepreneur who has made his mark in the local treats industry with his venture Yummy's Tasty Treats. With a passion for creating delightful treats and a keen business acumen, Lavado has established himself as a rising star in the local business community. He has developed a love for kitchen from a very young age. Inspired by his mother's traditional recipes and his own creative flair, Lavado began experimenting with different ingredients and flavors, honing his skills in the kitchen. After completing his studies, he entered the world of work, where he commenced his first job with the Turks and Caicos Islands government, and have also worked with the Turks and Caicos Island Port Authority as a security officer. He remains employed with the security office and has risen to the position of security supervisor, having served the organization for in excess of 10 years. In 2017, he founded Yummy's Tasty Treats, a boutique business specializing in cream cakes, milk douche, fudge, homemade ice cream of a variety of tantalizing flavors. In 2019, he submitted a business plan documenting the vision and growth of his small business, Yummy's Tasty Treats, and was awarded a grant. This grant catapulted the business into phenomenal growth. In 2023, Invest Turks and Caicos hosted its first awards gala, recognizing the micro, small, and medium enterprises that has demonstrated exceptional resilience and commitment through the MSME program. Yummy's Tasty Treats was the proud recipient of the award for the Startup of the Year. Lavado initially started a small catering business, providing food to construction sites in Grand Turk, and later started a bike rental business. Both businesses failed due to a lack of experience and mismanagement. Refusing to let go of his dream of owning his own business and determined to succeed, he created a new business idea, which birthed forth Yummy's Tasty Treats. He's committed to giving back to his community. He actively participates in local events, collaborates with other small businesses, and supports charitable initiatives, while he continues to juggle the demand of his full-time job and his growing business. He remains committed to delivering delicious treats and spreading joy to customers near and far. Let's welcome Lavado Simmons to Pathways to Success.
Welcome to Pathway to Success. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Hunter, and we have our special guest all the way from the beautiful island of Turks and Caicos, Lavado Simmons. How are you doing, Mr. Simmons? Welcome to Pathway to Success.
I'm doing good. Thank you for welcoming me to Pathway to Success. I'm doing pretty good today.
I like that. I see Yummy's
Yummy's Tasty Treats.
Oh, that means you're a great chef then.
Sure does.
But I like the backdrop behind you. I love that, and I love the name. What inspired you to turn your passion for creating treats into a business venture with the name Yummy's Tasty Treats?
But first of all, before I get to that question, I want to take this opportunity to thank you and your team for inviting me on such a platform. I've been seeing pictures going around with this platform, and I've recently watched an interview with one of my good customers, Desiree Robertson.
Really?
So I'm delighted to be on a stage that Desiree was on, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here. With that being said, I also would like to apologize for the absence of the CEO of the company in the name of Lavado Simmons. Unfortunately, she should be watching this interview, or she should be doing some schoolwork, but unfortunately, she wouldn't be able to make it. So I'm apologizing on her behalf, because this is her business. I'm just the general manager, right, pushing the business until she's capable of taking over. Now, with regards to your question, it started years ago for me, watching my mother back then, going up in her house, watching my mother do these things for pleasure. Yeah. We grew up from Soki in a house where she was doing milk douce fudge and the likes on a weekly basis, on a weekend basis. Sometimes she was just doing it for fun, and most times friends and family who would have passed through the house would have enjoyed it, would have, of course, been given an opportunity to try it. And the joy and the love that I see on their face made me decide that, hey, after failing a few different business, this might be the way to go. And it's the way to go in the sense that what my mother was doing back then has a rich culture to the island of Salt Key here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. So I took it upon myself to make it a business where I give the world an opportunity to enjoy these sweets that we provide here at Yummy Tasty Treats with regard to the milk douce, the fudge, the cream cakes, and the likes. So that's where my passion came from, watching my mother over the years doing this as a pleasure. And I turned it into a business, of course, for profit.
That's good. And your little daughter is involved in it. She's the CEO.
She's the youngest CEO, actually. She's the youngest CEO in the Turks and Caicos Islands to own a
That's
business,
good.
but she's still going through the stage of school and the like. She's 13, so she's in second form. When she was 16, I'll officially give her a master's in hustling, but she's working. She's doing her schoolwork now in terms of getting her bachelor's degree in whichever road she want to turn. But she would be a certified that master's degree in hustling at the age of 16. I promise her that.
Congratulations. And I'm looking forward to interviewing her. You
One
got
day, trust me.
with her. You gotta come back on the show with both of you sitting together on
Of
pathway
course.
to success.
Of course. And I'll just sit back and let her take the mic because she's ready for it. So I know she's watching and I hope
Yes.
she's doing her thing. So yes, sir.
Want to say hi to the youngest CEO in Turks and Caicos Islands.
Yes, sir.
He's winning big, winning
Yes,
big.
sir.
But Mr. Simmons, how did your upbringing in Grand Turks and your mother's, you mentioned something about your mother's traditional recipes. You mentioned that you saw her cooking at home and that kind of influenced you also to give a go at that. How
Well,
did that?
I think I had a good upbringing. I came in the last era where we was into being on the outside, playing on the outside versus this generation where we focus so much on iPad. So I came up in that generation. And of course, I was raised in a house with a single parent in my
Mhm.
grandmother's house with her siblings, my aunties. My grandpa was the only male structure in the house at that time. And coming from a background from it come from before where my grandma would what I heard stories about my grandma would have baked bread and give it to the community before she give it to the children. And watching my mom doing the same thing with regards to baking bread and all of the likes, it just inspired me to take that road. It was easy because we was a close family. We still close today, and we live together, and we believe in giving. I think my family is one of the most giving families here in the Turks and Caicos Islands and probably in the world, and we pride ourselves in giving. And that's just how I was inspired through growing up, watching my mother doing it and starting it as a business in the likes.
And that's good because children live what they learned, and coming from a family that gives, that is love. Love is an action word. And that's why a lot of people don't know. There are some people say to you, they love you, but they don't give you anything. You know? But a person that gives, that person loves.
Yeah, I
And I
think we
want
give too much, but nonetheless, we're grateful.
I understand that because I'm coming from that same family background where we give so much and we give the
Yes,
best.
yes,
And
yes.
yes, some of the time the person that you give to, that same person turn back at you. But we have to continue doing what
Yeah,
we have
but
to
we
do.
have to we have to keep faith in God, and He will lead the way. So, nonetheless, that's how we move. Our
Yes,
blessings come from above.
yes, that's true. Can
Yes,
you
sir.
tell us about your journey from working with the Turks and Caicos Islands government and the Port Authority to starting your own business? How did you get started,
Well,
man?
well, you see, my journey, to be honest, started from a very young age. I remember recently, years ago, this picture surfaced, this high school picture where what was taken, where you would have said what you wanted to be. Under that picture, I said I wanted to be a businessman from very early age in high school, and knowing that that's the way I wanted to be. When I finished school, I wasn't too much inclined into the academic part of it. I appreciate it for what it is, and I understand today that it's much more important now than it was then with regards to obtaining education and your bachelor's degree and the likes. I push that for my daughters, and I push that for the young people because that is the way to go. But for me, it wasn't my way. My way was to get into the workforce, which I did. Have an opportunity to work with central purchasing unit as a sales clerk for a couple of years before moving on with security, with port security and different names under port security because it was port security, ODP, and then port authority. And outside of that, I wanted to have my own because, like I said, during my high school days, I believed that I was placed on myself to be a businessman, and that's my mission from day one with all the business that was failed to up to now. So that's what I believe in. That's what I wanted. And that's what I strive to do. And today we sit near 2024, and I am a businessman with one business, with many business, and just enjoying it, appreciating it for what it was, for what it is, and striving to be better every day, personally and business wise.
Congratulations. I mean, along the way, I want to celebrate you because you said something which was so key that when you were a child, you saw something, you said you wanted to be a businessman. And today you're that entrepreneur. But what were some of the challenges you faced when starting Yummy's Tasty Treats? And how did you overcome them?
Well, one of my biggest challenges with Yummy Tasty Treats, I think later now we'll speak about this based on the introduction. I was awarded in 2019 a grant with Invest TC, right? And one of the requirements was a business plan. So one of the challenges with that was I spent a lot of time focusing on the business plan of it and not realizing what was ahead of me with regards to what the business plan entails. At the end, I was awarded the business plan, and it was able to, this business plan, through the grant, allow me to buy equipment. So now you're talking about moving out of my mom's house to having commercial equipment such as cake mixing, the likes, and those things. And I'm sitting down one day, and then it dawned on me. It's like, okay, so this stuff is on the way. Where you gonna store it? So knowing the stuff is on the way, I jumped quick into action. Bear in mind, this 2019, my business would have started from 2016, officially in 2017 with regards to business license and the likes. So at that time, the business was doing pretty good profit-wise. But with the equipment on the way, I rushed towards the judgment to start to build my production center with the profit that I would have gained over the 3 years. During that process now, I ran out of money. A production center not finished. I have to go have conversation with the bank now. Now I'm at odds of having conversation with the bank now because now I'm asking for some money that I need to come finish my production center, but I don't have no money in the bank. Whereas if had I be patient, I could have used what the business have and have a better conversation with the bank. So fast forward, eventually through ups and downs with the banks, not doing what they're supposed to do, respect and credit history, which I have a great one, I eventually got the loan. With that being said, everything sounds good, right? I got the loan. I was able to finish my production center. It's 2019 now. I got the loan. I was able to finish my production center. I had enough money to put stock in my place. When I talk about stock, I talk about ingredients that we use. And I had my new equipment. I ready to roll. I ready to bounce back. But guess what happened in 2020? 2020 was COVID. It was pandemic. It's pandemic. So now I have a brand new production center. I have ingredients. I have everything set. I don't have no money now because I use my money. I have everything set. And here comes pandemic. So the pandemic taught me another different challenge of being committed, of being true, of showing love, because you have to love this after going through all of this. So the pandemic was rough because now I have to manage the stock that I would have with regards to the product that I would have on my hand before the pandemic, when the country would have shut down. I have to figure out how I'm going to keep my staff during the pandemic, because you don't want to lose your staff. The country open back up, you get to start all over. So it's mind-boggling how to do all of that, but I find a way to juggle it. I find a way to sell what I could have sold. I find a way to keep my staff. Of course, some of these things was coming out of my personal money with regards to my job, but that's what I had to do for my business. And the loan that I get was supposed to be paid off by the business, but this time the business struggling. So one of the things I learned was I was too hasty. I should have used my money as a collateral to have a better conversation with the bank. Two, the pandemic taught me a lot. It taught me how to overcome adversity. It taught me how not to give up. It taught me a lot. The struggle was real. There were sleepless nights, but there was no option, because once you love it, it got to get done. So fast forward to now, we came out of the pandemic. I was able to keep my staff. I was able to get things rolling. I mean, we ain't perfect, but we rolling. We rolling. And the thing is, you got to love it. If you don't love it, trust me, When it get hot, you're gonna, because you say, like you said, love is an action.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't love it, brother man, when it get hot, you're gonna leave it. But I love it. So we here today after all of that situation with the bank and using my money and the likes in the pandemic. But nonetheless, I'm here, man. I'm here for the struggle and I'm here for the victory.
I like that. You're a true winner. You are a true winner. I just love hearing you speak and the determination in your voice to succeed. Many persons, after getting a loan from that program, would have and then the COVID came in, would have thrown their vision to the curb. But you kept at it, and I'm so proud of you. Look at you now.
Thank you so much, man.
Look at
Thank
you.
you so
I
much.
can't wait to taste some of what you cook right there. I'm gonna but we're gonna take a short break with Lavado Simmons, and we're gonna come right back to Pathway to Success.
All right, thank you, sir.
Did you pick out this detergent all by yourself? So cute.
It's half the size and it's half the plastic. And there's nothing cute about unnecessary plastic. Christy, the average person generates over 200 pounds of plastic a year. And there are 329 million of us in the US alone.
Do you want paper or paper? Yeah.
7th generation Easy Dose laundry detergent. Half the size, half the plastic, all the clean.
So where were we?
The playoff.
Oh, yes. Only a handful of teams remained, hailing from kingdoms far and wide across the college football land, all vying for a spot in the playoffs. Each team led by a great coach, fearless players, and defended by the loyalist of fans. Soon they would take part in an epic playoff battle for the right to call themselves national champions. And to the victor go the spoils, a beautiful trophy, a grand celebration, and bragging rights that stand the test of time.
And then what happened?
We'll find out soon.
Ready?
This ship is now under the command of the First Order.
Live your Star Wars story in a new 2-night adventure.
You know what I've come for.
Only at Walt Disney World Resort.
Welcome back to Pathway to Success. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Hunter, and we have the industrious, the winner, Lavado Simmons here with us on Pathway to Success. And we're hearing this amazing story. Now, Lavado, what I would like to ask you, how do you manage to balance your full-time job as a security supervisor at the Port Authority, which must be very busy, and running yummy, tasty treats? How do you do that? Well, and being a father also.
That one is kind of easy in the sense that with the Port Authority, you work shift work. So we work
Right.
24 hours. We work 24-hour shift work. So our shift work would be like 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. So I have time to, like, if I'm working 3 to 11, I wake up in the given morning, make sure my production center is set with the ingredients to have the day rolling. Then I'll be able to venture down to my tourist spot where I have set up in the town area. And by 1 o'clock, I'm able to go home and get ready for work. So the fact that I'm working shift work, it works more in my favor to enable me to be on the outside and doing what I have to do for yummy, tasty treats.
You're a very hard-working young man, very determined, and the success is all over you, and winner is all over you. What lessons did you learn from the failure of your earlier businesses, and how did they contribute to the
I
success of Yummy's Tasty Treats today?
two key lessons I could speak of. One would be time frame. There's no time frame on a successful business.
Right.
You have to be in it to win it. So if you go in a business and you feel like you want to be there 1 or 2 years and it's not successful, you want to give up, you setting yourself up for failure. A successful business, some people are successful in the first 1 or 2 years, but some people are successful in the next 5 or 10 years. So there's no time frame on a successful business. In order for you to be successful, you got to put in the homework. You got to be able to handle the sleepless nights. You got to be able to handle the struggles, because that's what can propel you to having a successful business. That's one. Two, you have to separate your monies. Your business money is your business money. Your personal money is your personal money. Them two should never be in one account. What you do with your business money should be solely focused on bettering your business. What you do with your personal money, so fully focused on bettering yourself. You can't jump up one day and say, I'm going to take so much of money from my business money to do something for yourself personally. Because when your business do need that money and it's not there, then you're in the struggle. So you have to be able to separate those two accounts and know that your business money is your business money. And at early stage of a business, you may be working 2 to 3 years before you could even give yourself something. So you have to be mindful of all these things and be willing to be willing to go through it. Because if you ain't, like I say, time frame, if you're expecting to have a successful business in a year or two, you're setting yourself up for failure. You have to be in it for the long haul. And there's no time frame on a successful business.
Oh, I like that word. Those words are very important words of keys of wisdom, which you're giving, where you're showing our viewers today, because what you're saying is so true. Anyone who is in business has to make sure that their business money is for the business and don't go into it, dipping into it. Then also it takes a period of time. Normally people says it's about 5 years before you start getting any form of returns from a business. So you're giving such valuable information while you're inspiring us on Pathway to Success. You're giving also the viewers such valuable information for those who are sitting, watching, and are business owners or decide to start their business. What you're saying is so key and important. Can you describe the process you go through when developing new flavors and treats for your customers? How creative are you in that area?
Well, I could explain it. I'm not going to get too much detailing in terms of what we do at the production center, because this is for the world to watch. So, I'll just give you a few ideas of what we do. Like, one of the things we do with regards to experimental flavors, we would test something in the production center. We have enough family and friends out there that we would send that out there for their views. They come back with their views. We go back to the production center. We tweak it again. We send it back out there to a different set. When it comes back, we do the final tweaking, but we still take time with it, because we here at Yummy Tasty Treats, we're not excited about just showing product out there. We want to know that the product that we show out there is something that you're gonna buy, it's something that you don't want, it's something that you're gonna want, and something that you're gonna enjoy. So we're not excited to just go through flavors like that, because we're not in it for flavor. We're in it for quality. We want to know that when you show it out there, you're gonna enjoy it. It's easy. We're in a situation right now. It's easy. I have 7 different flavors of ice cream, right? I have ice cream. I have a coconut ice cream. I have a pineapple ice cream. We all know coconut and pineapple could go together as one. Boom. And we could put that out in the market and have that as ice cream. But we're not excited about that yet, because we want to make sure that when we put that out there, we get our profit in return. And we want to put that, a new flavor like that, we want to put it in a store, our store, where you could come sample it, taste it, experience it, and then you enjoy it. We're not in the business to just have 100 flavors. We're not into that. We want to focus on flavors that we know. Sometimes down by my tourist area, the tourists would ask me a question, which one is your best flavor? I tell them all, because I do believe that all my flavors are my best flavors. I don't have a favorite flavor. All are the best. So we're not too excited about showing new things like that. We have great ideas to the flavor. I have something named fudge, which is a chocolate fudge. We at Yummy Tasty Treats know we could show some raisins in there, we could show some peanuts in there, and we have a fruity nut. But we're not
That's creative. That's creative. I love that.
we're not ready for that because we want to know when we put our stuff out there, it's gonna sell, we're gonna make our money, and everybody's gonna be happy. So we're in the production center, we're thinking, we walking it, but we're moving at our own pace. We're not too excited about the noise in the market. We focus on what we could do and what we could provide, because at the end of the day, if we fail, then it's on us. So we make sure that we pace ourselves, and new flavors and things will come, but everything in God's timing, right? Yeah. By the grace of God and His timing, everything will play out the way it's supposed to play out.
Well, you have my members of the studio. They're licking their fingers. They're just like they can taste of what you're speaking about. Yummy's tasty treats already. And so we should have asked you to send over some. So while we're interviewing,
that would have been a great one. That would have been probably the best idea. Trust me.
Probably the best, but
nonetheless, we'll get your package.
You again. I know we'll be interviewed again, and this time we'll be having something tasted while we're speaking to you.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
But how do you stay ahead of the industry, the trends, and keep offering your unique taste and appealing to taste to your customers?
One of the things we did recently to stay ahead of the trend, we created a package option where you're able to we provide you with a package for different events such as wedding, anniversary, and the likes. You can now call Yummy Tasty Treats, and we could provide you with. We have some square clear containers, and we also have some plastic wrapping. So we changed the game with that, with regards to the packaging service. But one of the things that we pride ourselves in, one of the key things that we pride ourselves in with trending, is that when you hear about Yummy Tasty Treats for the first time, you're thinking of maybe this is a female business, and even if it's a male in it, he's going to be in the kitchen. But when you pick up that phone and you place the call and you call Yummy Tasty Treats, and you hear this man voice on the phone who's catering to your needs with regards to who you want, who's able to tell you about what you need for your event. And at the end of the day, he's going to provide the service, not only provide it, he's a man to his word, he's going to provide it on time and that and like. So we pride ourselves on that with regards to our customers, because our customers is the key to us who going to get the word out. So when you pick up the phone and call Yummy Tasty Treats, you're going to get a top-class service, not only on the phone, but on delivery. We deliver on time. We use one airline because we want to deliver on time. That's how we work here at the Yummy Tasty Treats. So our trend is all about pleasing the customers, and we have to take the opportunity to big out the people who look out for us. We have a few customers in Pro that we appreciate, and we're growing over there. Of course, I have to big up South Caicos. I mean, I love the love that South Caicos continue to show to me as a part of the Turks and Caicos Islands. And of course, I wouldn't be here today without my Grand Turk community. So I big them up too. But we pride ourselves in trending with regards to how we treat our customers. We treat each one with the same love, and we sell and we send each product with the same love, vice versa. So our trending is all about making sure each customer feel the love and is pleased at the end of the day. And that's what we do.
That's great. What are your future plans for expanding? I'm sure you'll be expanding Yummy's Tasty Treats. And how do you plan to achieve that?
Well, the first step for us with regards to that is we really want to own our own ice cream sweet parlor where you could walk on any given day and we could have these sweets on display, and it would be better for you and better for us. So that's our first step. But the end goal is always to be at least in every part of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Of course, Providencia, South Caicos. We even want a little stall on Salt Key, and Salt Key have less than 50 people. That's how much we want to spread this. We want to spread this Yummy Tasty Treat. So our end goal is to have a franchise here in Grand Turks and Caicos Islands at large. Who knows? We may make it as far as the Bahamas or even around the world. That's our end goal, and we're pushing for it slowly but surely. But our end goal is to have our own parlor here in different parts of the Toxicicus Islands.
Can you share some advice for other young entrepreneurs looking to start their own business? What would you say to them?
My advice for young entrepreneurs, first of all, I would share with them is love. And like you said in your introduction, love is an action word.
Yeah.
If you don't have love, you don't have action, because you have to love what you do. And if you don't love what you do and love what you're doing with regards to your business, you're going to give up. You're not going to stand the struggles. You're not going to stand the hard times. You first have to love what you're doing, because that action word, love, would propel you through all your struggles. And by your actions, you would be committed to your business and what you want to do. In those hard days, you won't give up. So you first, to any young person out there who just want to open up a business, you first got to love it, man. Because if you don't love it, you're setting yourself up for failure. Because there are going to be times when you have to show love to your business. There are going to be times when you have to miss things because you love your business. There may be events that you want to go to, but you have a big order. You got to say to myself, I love my business, and I can show action towards my business. So anything you do with regards to being a businessman and entrepreneur, if you don't love it, you start off in the wrong foot. You have to love it in order to do it, especially living in a small community. You have to love it, because when you love it, you can put your action to it. So that's my advice to young people. Love what you're doing. And if you don't love it, leave it alone.
Like that. How do you involve your daughters in your business, and what values do you hope to instill in them through this involvement?
Well, we spoke about the young CEO at the age, early on in the introduction. Actually, she's 13 right now, and my other daughter is kind of 3. So she's the 3-year-old is just living life. She's not into what's going on. She's on her iPad. She's trying to boss me around. But nonetheless, with the other one, I didn't involve her. She involved herself. At an early age, growing up in the house, just like I would have watched my mother, she watched me. And she made a decision that she want to be in the kitchen versus outside playing with the kids and doing their likes. So she made it her business to always come around, to always want to get involved in the milk juice, the cream cakes, and the likes. It was all on her. Now she's able to do everything we do in the production center. She's able to do. What I also did with her is I show her every part of the business. So there's nothing in the business that she can't do. She write up the books if I needed to write up. She could go in Excel and do it if it need to be done. Sorry. I take her to the bank to do the deposits. I take her to wherever I'm invited to with regards to trade shows. It's funny because I was looking at some old pictures in 2018 where we went to this event here in Grand Tuck, another trade show that is coming up June. Big up to Anika. Her show is coming up June, Commerce, Cocktails, and Conversations. That was in 2018. My daughter was 8, and we attended that event. That event is being held again this year in 2024. She's 13 now, going on to 14, and she's going to be right there. So I showcase her, not to show off, but to give her the experience to know that she's going to be a part at every level of the business, not just the hard work, the rewards, to the award show with MSME program. She's right to my side because I wanted to experience every aspect of the business. And hopefully when her sister grow up, she'll be able to bring her sister along the journey. Her sister may not be tuned into making the milk juice and forage and the likes, but at least she'll have another position inside the business and they will be able to work together and have a great one. So my first daughter involved herself, and my second daughter, she's just enjoying life in the rewards of what Yami Tasty Treats bring to the table at the moment.
I like that. You're a great father. I must celebrate you today, and a great role model and a great entrepreneur. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years in closing?
Well, in the next 5 years, I see myself in the next 5 years. My daughter should be 18. I see myself moving away from Yummy Tasty Treats and hopefully handing it over to her, just overseeing it from not too much in it, but being the big guy that I am overseeing it. But the goal for Yummy Tasty Treats is to really hand it over to her. There's other things out there that I need to be focused on, and I'm holding on as long as I can because I do believe that this is my daughter's business, and I tell myself that, and I tell her that, and I want her to believe it's her own. So the many times she's ready to take the baton, I'm ready to give it to her. But it's a process. It may not be a 5-year process, maybe a 10-year process, because she has to go in. She still has a life, and then that too is up for grabs, because she may just come out of school and say she don't want no more part of the business. Who knows? So I don't know. The future for the next 5 years is to, and 5 years and beyond, is to hand it over to her, but that is yet to be seen. We'll see how that play out 5 years later.
I want to thank you for inspiring us. Great interview on Pathway to Success. Keep on winning, keep on doing what you do. Few persons comes on and speak so strongly about inspiring their children or their child to be a young entrepreneur at that young age. So you are a great father, a great role model, a great businessman, and you're a winner. Thank you so much for sharing your great success story with us on Pathway to Success.
Once again, I want to thank the God Almighty for giving me the opportunity to be here, and then thank you and your team for reaching out and have allowed me to be on such a platform. I really appreciate it. I know my family watching, so I want to shout out to them too. I hope I made them proud someday, somehow. They give me a lot of trouble, but nonetheless, I want to just say thank you, man, and I just appreciate the fact that you reach out to have this interview, and hopefully, through your team member here on the island, I'll be able to send you some of those treats, and you'll have me back here. But this time, I'll be sitting on the side, while the CEO will be sitting in the main chair. So I appreciate it, man. Enough love.
Enough love too. Have a great week. And in fact, you can achieve all things through Christ that strengtheneth you. Just want to leave this bite with you for this week. Have a great week from Pathway to Success.
All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.